Okay, so you can see that. Okay, so number one. Okay, so let's take a look. So welcome everyone. This is our first Google morning meeting. I'm trying to decide whether we should have um, the lessons from 9 to 10:30 and then from 10:30 to 12 on Thursdays. That's 3 hours total, but I have 4 classes. So I think it's going to be impossible for me to do the lessons at this time. But I'm thinking maybe that we could treat this time as tutorial. And then if you have questions, then you can ask me questions. And then you can watch the videos whenever you want. So you could watch the videos during this time, but they wouldn't be live. So that's my current thinking at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see. I wanted to wait to finish making my plans until I talk to you guys and see what you need. Okay, so if you look at the agenda, let's see. I think I can do a screenshot and write on this. So let's see. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so look at your current grade. Okay, so you're going to look at your current grade in Parent Portal. It is up to date. Okay, so I just recently made it up to date, so it's up to date as of yesterday. Okay, so you're going to be having 2 different grades. You're going to be looking at the April 20th grade, okay, which is the grade that's in the grade book. And then we're going to look at the May 28th grade. Okay, so you're going to look at those 2 grades. And the grade in my class you get is the grade that's the better grade. Okay, so whichever grade is better, that's the one you get on your report card. So better grade goes on report card. Okay, and if you have any questions, you can type them in the chat. Yeah, and I kind of want it to be live every day. So I'm going to be live from 9 to 10:30. So let me tell you the times. So our math time is Tuesday, 9 to 10:30. And then Thursday from 10:30 to 12. Okay, but if you think of these 3 hours for each one of you individually, that wouldn't be too bad. But for me, I teach 4 classes. So it's going to be impossible for me to get 4 classes of lessons in 3 hours. You guys know I'm all wordy. Okay, so and then I'm going to explain about how the categories are going to go. Okay, so and this will be for Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. I'm going to do it the same way. Okay, but so these Tuesday, Thursday, and then there's also a Friday tutorial time. I'm kind of thinking that all of these days are just for you guys can drop in and ask me questions, just like tutorial, and then I can help you. You can be doing your homework from 9 to 10:30 if you want, and then you can ask me questions. I'm thinking I can't fit all the live videos into that 3 hour time. So that's where my live video issue is. But then you could watch the live video during your Tuesday, Thursday time if you wanted, or you could be doing your homework and ask me questions. But we'll see. Right now we have 26 people. So I should have 75. So I definitely want to make it so the people who want to watch the live videos can watch them live if you want, so you can ask questions, or you can just watch the YouTube videos later. Okay, so let me answer some of your questions regarding, I'm going to jump to number 4 because of your questions that you guys are typing. Okay, so look at number 4. Okay, so look at number 4, and then I'm going to add something to number 4. Okay, so number 4, there's a new category in the grade book. I haven't decided what we're going to do. So I don't know what its name is going to be, but basically it's going to be, at home learning or extended learning or distance learning, maybe distance learning. Okay, and we're going to have no more tests. So that means there's no final exam. Okay, so there's going to be no final exam in our class. Other teachers might be trying to do a final exam. Okay. I love your questions. Your questions are so appropriate to you. I think you guys are awesome. Okay, so I'll be able to answer individual questions later, and I'm reading your questions so I can bring those up as well. So there's no more tests. Perhaps there's quizzes, and there's definitely notes and worksheets or bookwork to upload. This is the thing is, test security, there's photo math. So if I have a quiz, I mean, basically you could just type it into PhotoMath and put it in there. But I want there to be a way that you can up your grades. If you want to get your grades to be better, I want to make sure that there's an ability to do that. So what I was going to do, and this will answer one of the students' questions who asked about notes, is you're going to have a notes, and so there's going to be a grade for notes. But if you don't do the notes, I'm going to put NA in it. So it's not going to hurt your grade. So I would suggest that you take notes because it's free points. But if you don't want to take notes and you don't upload it, it's not going to hurt your grade. Okay, and then the same thing with the worksheets. Okay, so if you do the worksheets because you want to learn the material, that would be great. But if you don't do a worksheet, I put an NA in it. And yes, so there's no more finals, there's no more tests. Okay, so and I've been using this model with my math analysis class because for the last 4 weeks they've been learning, and they've been uploading assignments, and they've been taking notes, and so it's the same thing. I there's I don't think there's a way that I can make it so you can't upload your work. Yeah, so you're gonna have to take pictures because I need to see your work. And math doesn't really work as a Google document. So I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Let me see if I've answered some of these other questions. Yes, no more finals, no more tests, which means it's harder to raise your grade. So I'm trying to figure out ways. One way another teacher was talking about is she was talking about doing projects instead of tests. But what I'm thinking is I'm not going to do projects or tests, except if you need to raise your grade in the test category. So if you really bombed a test, or say you didn't take a test, okay, because some of you didn't take a test. So if you didn't take a test, then how am I going to make it so your grade can go up? So that's going to be projects instead of tests. But there's no required projects. Okay, so there's no projects that you'll have to do. The main thing is just you learn the material, and then it's just like we do in class. So you learn the material, you take notes, and then you do your homework, and then we're deleting tests. Okay, let's see. Okay, missing assignments. Okay, so let's talk. So basically, number 4 says no more tests, perhaps quizzes. Yes, actually, one of the questions says, it sounds like most everything is optional. And the answer is yes, everything is optional. Okay, so everything is optional. I did teach you most of the stuff that you need to know for your future math classes, especially in Algebra 1. We finished all the way through Chapter 9. So the only thing, you weren't tested on Chapter 9, but I taught you everything you need to know. For Algebra 2, Chapter 7 and conics, there's 2 things that if you don't know that for college, it might be a problem. So I'm definitely going to keep teaching you. And then it's your choice on whether or not that you learn it. Because what we don't know is we don't know what time people have. Okay, so what happens though is what the GLC said is if you don't do the work, then I'm supposed to contact them, and then they'll contact you and your parents, because for the state of California, you are supposed to be learning at this time. However, for grades, I mean, we really can't predict what your individual situation is. And we don't know if your family's sick. We don't know if you're the homeschool teacher for your younger brothers and sisters. We have no idea. So everything that you don't do will have an NA in it. And so that's where the student said, is it optional? Okay, so it's optional in the grade book, but you are supposed to be doing it during these last 5 weeks. That's why you're getting a grade in my class for it. Okay, but some of you have old grades that you won't like, and I need to make sure there's enough that you can raise your grade of the old ones as well. Yes, so we're going to have a category. So somebody just asked the question is, are we going to have new grades, or are we just going to keep the grade? Okay, so basically, and I'm going to circle this in, let me change colors here. Okay, so I'm going to circle this in yellow. Okay, so I'm going to circle this in yellow. So your current grade as of today, when you go back and look at it, you're going to write that grade down. Okay, so that's the April 20th grade. So the April 20th grade has a grade. So say you have 79.2. Okay, now on May 28th, if all of a sudden you now have a 60.5, okay, then you get the 79.2. Okay, but if on May 28th you have an 80.5, okay, then you get the 80.5. So you do get the better grade. Okay, it's called, I forgot what they call it, but no harm grading. Okay, and each teacher might be a little bit different, but the idea is that's kind of the policy of the school, is you have two grades. You have the grade April 20th, which we capture, and then you have the grade May 28th, and whichever is your better grade is the grade that we give you. There's a question that says, our grades can only improve. Yes, your grades can only improve. Your grade can't go down from here. Yes, your grade cannot go down from the April 20th grade. And there's going to be a new category. Okay, so your new category, so you can see how your grades are doing. But I am going to do this down here. I'm going to circle this in white, in yellow, where it says notes. So if you, and I'm going to have them as separate assignments. So if you decide to do the worksheets, you can get the points for the worksheet. Okay, so they're going to be worth 5. So if you do my worksheets, you get 5 points. And if you do your notes, you get 5 points. Okay, but if you don't do the notes and you do the worksheet, it's going to only give you positive points because you're going to get the 5 worksheet points. And I'll put an NA for the notes. If you do both of them, it'll help your grade more. And if you only do the notes and you don't do the worksheet, it'll still help your grade. So it'll help your grade regardless. I'm not sure how much it's going to be able to raise your grade, but me looking at grades and seeing how you did first semester, I mean, say you got a B first semester, and then currently you're sitting on a D just because you had a bad 6 weeks. I need to figure out a way individually how I can get your grade up to a B if you want to put in the work. Okay, so I definitely want that to be the case, is that you can raise your grade to what you had first semester. So we'll see. Now, if you already have an A or a B and you like your grade, then the reason you're going to do the work is not for the grade. You're going to do the work because you know you need it for your future, or because you don't want the GLCs to call your parents or something like that. But my main focus, of course, is going to be, how can I get the students who have maybe an F or a D? Is there any way that I can get them a higher grade? Or if you have a C, it'd be better not to have a C. So how could we get you a B? And that's really an individual concern. Okay, and then for the homework and the notes, right now I'm saying they're worth 5. But what I might do is I'll play with the numbers just to see what your concerns are. And I'm thinking it is possible that the notes are not 5 and 5 and 5. I could make them worth more so that it would help people. Do we have lectures? So you will have lectures. Are you going to have a lecture today? No, we're not going to have a lecture today. And I think I'm going to do the live videos after school, meaning after 2:45, because unless no one's coming to the live videos after school, we'll see. But my main idea here is that I want the people who want to see the videos live can see it live. Missing assignments. Supposedly, I have to check the rules, but supposedly missing assignments, the deadline was April 20th, so you can't turn in missing assignments. Okay, but we can see. I'll check with the rules, and because they said the grades April 20th, are the grades that we're capturing, but I think there might be a way. So you'll want to email me individually about those concerns. Okay, so let's go through the rest of the agenda list. Okay, so number 4 is basically no new tests, perhaps quizzes. There will be notes and worksheets, but they will be separate assignments. Okay, so notes and worksheets will be separate. Okay, so number 3, check Google Classroom every day. Okay, so now they did say that for the new assignments and worksheets, that they wanted to have due dates. So there's due dates, but for me, I'm good with putting the due dates, but I'll take it late. So I'm not concerned with when you turn it in. So if you decide to turn it in at a later time, I will count it. I'm just happy that you do the work. I don't know what your schedule will be. Do we have to upload the notes you assigned a couple of weeks ago? Yes, there will be spots for the chapter 7 notes and homeworks of what I did a couple weeks ago when I was giving the lessons. Hardly anybody was doing those, so that's why I didn't continue doing that. But that's the same model that we're going to use. I'll upload the notes, but those weren't live. Okay, so no one was asking me questions. So I was just talking to myself and my puppies. But Math Analysis decided that they really liked it live. And so only a few students, maybe, and only 2 of mine, but I was teaching all the Math Analysis honor students. And out of 170 Math Analysis honor students, only about 20 people were coming to the live videos. Jacob, definitely. Just not on video, okay? You guys are funny. You guys are awesome. Okay. Okay. So for those of you coming in late, it's no problem. I'm going to repost this video later so that you can get all your questions answered. Okay. So I'll post this on YouTube and then I'll link it into Google Classroom. Okay. So yes, Jacob. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So you're gonna, number one, you're gonna look at your current grade. You're gonna see if you like it, because you have different grades in different classes, right? So you're gonna want to figure out how you can best utilize your time to raise your grade in the classes that you need to raise your grade. Okay, so that's your number one priority. If it's my class that you need to raise your grade in, you're gonna email me or text me. Text me is totally fine. You're gonna text me and we're gonna figure out a plan for you individually. Okay. Number 2 is after I talk to all of you and what your needs are, I'll develop a plan moving forward. So right now we have 27 people and we should have about 75, maybe 80. But I know I put the information in late about when we were going to have this. But for those of you who just came is my view is my other students that I have been working with for the last 4 weeks in calculus and in math analysis is they said they're not awake before 12. So if they're not awake before 12, then there's no reason to do the live videos earlier than 12. And I can't do them from 12 to 3:40 or 2:45 because those aren't my assigned times. The videos can be made at any time, and then you can listen to the videos. You can listen to the videos on your own schedule. And then assignments you can turn in when you get them done. Okay. Tutorial Friday. So what I was planning for my Friday and my Tuesdays and my Thursdays, the days that we have our class, is I was planning to make those almost look like tutorials so that you can come and ask me questions. It might be possible that I could kind of separate them into Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Math Analysis, and HL Math, but I think that's going to be difficult. So we'll have to see how I can do that. Again, it's the whole wake up thing. If like, what time were you guys waking up last week? Can you put the times in and I'll probably do an assignment in Google Classroom that just has that question, which is, what time were you waking up last week? Exactly, right? That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Okay. Right? So, and now you guys, I'm up early, so to me, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Could be anytime. Okay, 9. And so some of you are waking up early. Okay. 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 And then yeah, and keep track of your times, but this is a good lesson in statistics, which is our chapters that are coming, is when you ask, like, for example, we're having this meeting at 9:30, so I'm asking people who tend to wake up early, maybe, they made it to this meeting, so then you might already be awake. If I asked all 75 people or all 80 people, imagine I asked the other 50 people who aren't here, they're not definitely, but they might all be waking up after 12. So that's why I'm going to do, I'll put a due date on this week, Friday, and then I'll have a plan for next week. So I'll put an assignment up there that just says, what is your preferred time? And if you want to watch a live video, some of you will be like, no, I don't want to watch a live video. I prefer to watch her on like ×2 on YouTube. And then you can just watch me and then speed me up, because I know for some of you guys, I speak too slowly or too fast. right? Now, if I'm talking too fast, you can put me at 0.5 and I'll be like, okay, x squared. Okay. And then on the other ones, I could be fast. Okay. But we could have designated times. That's funny. It is true that they might be being forced to wake up since this week, parents know that you're supposed to be at school this week. So that was why I was asking about what happened last week, right? Forced to. Yeah, exactly. Okay. If you want to email me anything, it is better if you send me a text. Okay. If you send me a text if you want an assignment uploaded, I just haven't been doing those because I wasn't updated. Okay, you guys are funny. Okay, so the Google Meets, number 6, the Google Meets will be recorded, microphone, microphone and video view. You can turn the microphone on, you can turn the microphone off. I'm good with both ways. We just have to be respectful when you're talking. The video view, you can have the video where it shows you, which is cool. I love that. But if you don't want to have your video on, you also don't have to have your video on. But I like to see you, so it's way better when it's not just, me talking to a bunch of pictures. Okay. So anyway, okay, so let's see what else is on the list. Tutorial Fridays. Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out how to plan all our time. I think we have 4.5 hours total. After I check Google Classroom every day, that's how we'll connect. What your plans, I'll move forward. I would like it if you have a grade that you don't like, that you contact me. Okay, now for some of you, if you're missing assignments and you're missing one assignment, but you already have an A, okay, so you already have an A, you already have a 93, and then you're asking me to put in missing assignments. You guys, this is a lot, this online stuff, and this is a lot for me to keep track of and do, and it's really fast when I go through paper by paper by paper, but individual papers takes forever. And so, yes, Elizabeth, that is my email address. When you have an A and you're asking me to put in makeup work, I mean, you guys, we got to be sensitive of all of our needs. And I have a lot more work to do now that I'm online. Okay, so individual assignments going into each of those Google things that you're uploading. Did you do it? Did you not do it? NAs instead of 55555. It's going to take me forever. So individual assignments, if you're like, oh, you didn't put this one in, you have a 93. So it's 5 points. So they may not get in. Okay, so you can email me, and you can tell your parents that too. You can say, hey, Miss Nichols said she's not putting in, that some of the assignments might not be in there, but just look at my grade. Oh, okay, definitely. So Elizabeth, thank you. That is my email address. Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys. Okay. Okay. And this is awesome. 27 people. That's so awesome. Okay, so Zoe, Carrie, Vanessa, Sebastian. Nice. Perseus, Layla, Kristen, Kayla. Oh, this is so fun. I miss all of you guys. It's so weird to be here instead. My puppies are loving it, but for me, it's a little strange. Jade, Jonathan, Justin, Jacob, Ivan. Oh, both Ivans. That's cool. Okay. Isaiah, Dominic, Damian, Charlize, Brianna, Becky, Ariana, Anthony, Alyssa. Then there's this little thing that says that I can take attendance, and I click it, and then it takes attendance when I hit it. It's very cool. Oh, wait, that one says there's 41 people. Also 41 people. Okay, I don't think so. I think that was wrong. Okay. Anyway, so I have another question for you guys that you can put in the chat. Yes, I am still looking at your work individually. So absolutely. So Charlize, that's what I'm doing. So that's where the makeup assignments are, they're over, they're done with, you already took tests on them, whatever. So on the new assignments, I want to look at them, and then I have this pen. I don't know, you can see, let me change the presentation. Let me get out of this presentation. Let me hit save. Let me get out of presenting so that you can see my face. Let's see. Where's my stop? No, I don't want to stop recording. I just want to stop presenting. No, present anything. How do I change the Oh, I have to stop it on the device that I'm presenting on. Let's see. So let's get back to Google. Get back to Google Meet. Stop presenting. Okay. So I believe it'll show me because I'm talking. So basically what I found out, which is super cool, is I can use my pen from my Android. So on my phone, here's my phone. So basically on Google Classroom, so to answer Charlize's question, is on Google Classroom, I can call up your assignment. Okay, I can get your assignment. And then there's a little box that lets me write on it with my pen. So I can click on it. It looks like an edit. And then I can write on your actual assignment and tell you what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong, and then save it. And then it goes back to you in the Google Classroom. If you're asking me about makeup assignments or old assignments, it's thousands of papers I process. Okay, I process 750 papers a week. Okay, so if one isn't in there, you need to understand that it's not a big deal. Okay, and if your parents are concerned, have them email me, and I'll explain it to them if it's them. Okay, so if you want me to look at your work individually, which is the question above, I do not have infinite time. Okay, so you just need to understand, just like I'm understanding that if you can't do the assignments that I've asked you to do, that you don't do them. This is not something that I'm going to be able to go back and individually. I can't go to school. I can't go through and look through the papers to see if you have it. Okay. Okay. And you have to think, where do you want my time
used? Do you want my
That was crazy. Okay. Okay, that's because I have two tablets. Anyway, okay, so individual concerns, it definitely, you want to send those to me individually. Okay. Okay. So, what questions do you guys have about now? Back to the live videos. I think I'm going to ask questions on Google Classroom. So this week, I'm trying to develop what we want to do. Okay, so I'm going to post some questions today to get everybody's opinion. Okay, I'll put the due date. Let's see, today's Tuesday. I'll put the due date on Thursday, just so then on Friday I can tell you what we'll do for the following week. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions so that I can ask everybody and not just the people who came live today. So one of the questions will be, do you want it to be live? Not do you want it to be live, but do you personally want to listen to it live, or would you rather listen to it recorded? And if you want to listen to it live, then what time would that be? Okay, so what time would that be? And I'll have a range of times, and then we can see. And then I might do it if we get a lot of people who want it in the morning and a lot of people who want it in the afternoon. Maybe I'll make some videos in the morning and some videos in the afternoon. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll see. Okay. So, and I mean, imagine if it's the morning people who want the live video and the afternoon people who don't want the live video. So we can definitely do that. Okay. So live will be good. Oh, hi, Jenna. I didn't see you in there. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So we have different ones. Okay. Yeah, live would be nice. Oh, somebody taught me this, you guys. Somebody taught me this. If you do, oh, where's my arrow? My exponent key. My exponent key means what they said above. The only thing about when my students were doing that in my other videos, in my other live videos, they were doing that too, is they were doing that, but I didn't know which one because there's like 5 different statements above. So I didn't know if it was like the one right above or above, above, above. I didn't know what that was. Okay. And then I haven't been checking whether you guys have been doing those other assignments that I put online already and uploaded them, but I will go back and look at those, and those will be actual assignments by date. Okay, so I will make a calendar for you for what we're going to do in this 5 weeks, but it's so it's so hard to describe because supposedly it's not optional. Okay, so you won't need to print anything. Okay, so to answer the question, somebody said, what if I can't print anything? It's no problem. You don't have to print anything. So basically, you're just writing on a piece of paper, and then you would take a picture and upload. Okay, so that's the main thing. You just need a picture and upload. Okay. Okay, so let me tell you about the optional. But it's like kind of all homeworks have always been optional, right? So it's between you and your parents whether or not you do it. Does it count as a grade? That's a different story. So what I can tell you this is all the assignments are required. So what the GLC said, if a student is not doing the assignments, I need to notify them, and they will then notify your parents or talk to you and figure out, is something going wrong with your family? Is that the reason you're not doing the assignments? So that's what the GLCs have said. So every assignment from here to the end of school is required. However, the grade will go in as not applicable, which means it doesn't hurt your grade if you don't do it. Okay, so if you were doing everything because of the grade and you can convince your parents, hey, I don't want to do anything, and you don't care if the GLCs call, then you don't have to do anything. Okay, but we're trying to teach you, right? So we're technically, we don't want you to be out, what's March? In March, it would be like 10 weeks. 10 weeks, you'd be out, you would not be learning 10 weeks of material. So that's the question of, is educational optional? Is education not optional? So that's kind of the issue, but it will not hurt your grade. So if you don't do these assignments, it will not hurt your grade. Okay, so notes is separate from homework. And then I'll try to make it enough points so that people can get their grades from last semester. Just because you had a bad first section, we definitely need you to still be able to get your grades. People who already have A's, you have your A. I want to help you learn the material, but you already have your A. So the individual grades itself, whether you have a 92 or 97 or a 91 or a 90, it doesn't matter. You have an A. Okay, so and then those of you who have B's and you like your B's, sometimes now if you want me to help you figure out a way to get a higher grade, you're just gonna have to let me know. So you're say, hey, I have a 90 and I want a 97. I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, I really need to, I can help you with the material itself. But if you have a 78 and you're like, hey, I really want to be, and I definitely want, I would love to have an A, but I definitely want to be, I can try to figure out, is there anything, maybe a project that I can put in the test category. If it's in the test category, I can't make the test worth like 50% of your grade. Right now, they're about 75%, 80% of your grade, but I can't make it so that it's 50. But I feel comfortable putting projects in the test category. So if you did a project and then like a little presentation to me individually, we could do that if you failed one of the earlier tests and you're like, my grade's just in the gutter and I was planning to get it up because with test or with test, then, and then there's no test. Because I know some of you don't do a lot of homework, but test is how you get your good grades. So we need to figure out a way to do that. And that's the only reason why we might have quizzes. Because I know if we had a quiz, some of you would do the quiz, but you wouldn't do the homework. So I don't know. I have to try to figure out that. Okay, but the plan is no quizzes, no tests, no final exam, and then anything is optional. Optional grade-wise. Okay, you're supposed to do it though, GLC-wise and education-wise. Yeah, so the lives when I'm teaching, those are the ones, Layla, that I'm talking about, is I don't really want to do a live at 9 o'clock because I don't think most people are awake at 9 o'clock. So I asked my seniors, my HL Math seniors, a couple of weeks ago because we had to do a live video, and so I said, okay, what time do you want me to teach you this? And they were so funny. They're like, well, we don't even wake up till after 12, and that was all of them. Okay, so nobody woke up before 12. Everybody was after. And then I texted them one time at 2 o'clock, and I said, oh, I was surprised nobody texted me. And they're like, oh, that's the time we take our naps. So they picked 6:30. And my math analysis honors group has been picking 6:37 when I was doing my live videos. And then some of them, the earliest they picked was 3:30. So they said 3:30 was kind of nice because it was when they were awake, and then it was before dinner. Because some people had, some people eat dinner at 7, some people eat dinner at 8, and you could eat dinner while you're watching the video anyway. Yeah, so the video lessons that I'll be giving, I want to make them available to be live. Okay, but it'll be just like the YouTube videos if you watched any so far. So it's just like that, but then I'm teaching on my tablet with the presentation, and then I record it and it goes up into YouTube. But what I added over the last, I think 2 weeks, I've been getting better at this. For math analysis honors, they said, "Hey, Miss Nichols, you make mistakes when we're not there." And I was like, well, that's true because I don't have people checking my work all the time. Right. So, and then I don't answer everybody's questions and I'm talking to the puppy. So it's very odd. So I much prefer to teach to students. And so that's where I made the live video. And then that's how I've been doing it the last 2 weeks. And it's nicer. So, but then some people watch it whenever they want to watch it because they can just listen back later or they don't have to. Yeah. So I am teaching. I would be teaching and then it would be a YouTube video. So if you miss the live, then it doesn't matter. So that's the thing. If 3:30 is the time more people are going to come for live, then I would rather do it at 3:30. And if 9 o'clock is the time and then people are going to do it, would rather watch the live, I would do it at 9. It doesn't matter to me. My whole day is the same. So to me, I really don't think of like school hours because I was always grading papers later too. Okay. So, okay. Okay. And some of you have been sending me messages in the last like week and a half, like about grades and about things like that. What I was trying to do is finish grading all your tests, make your grade as accurate as I could, so that April 20th grade was reflective of what you've been doing in my class. So that's what I was doing. Okay. You're funny. So 9 o'clock, but you're not going to be awake. Okay. So that's cool. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. That's what we were talking about, Tim. It's 9 o'clock, kind of early. Yeah. And I'm awake early, you guys. So I'm awake. So it really doesn't matter to me. I'm awake in the day, I'm awake at night. It could be whatever time. Some of my students did ask me, they're like, "Oh, could we have it at 9?" I was like, I don't think I could do it at 9 because then like how can I justify that to your parents? Like, oh, I'm doing a live video from 9 to 11 at night. So even though that was totally fine with me for my students who were asking me about that last week, it wasn't realistic. And then I would also the thing that I would like for Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays during the next call will be so the next Google Meet where we do this where I'm not teaching, where you could ask me questions. Um, that's what I want to do on the Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, is that you can come in and ask me questions when you have them, and then you can upload, say, a picture of your homework, and then I could answer it, just like I would be doing in class, answering questions. So that's what I would like. I would like the Tuesday, Thursday, Friday to be tutorial, where you can ask me questions if you want, or you can be watching the video and doing your homework. And then you can jump into the Google Meet and ask me a question when you have it. Sure. Yeah. And then the actual time. So let me tell you guys, these are the assigned times. So I'm going to type them in. Okay, so the assigned times for math, okay, are 9 to 10:30 Tuesdays and 10:30 to 12 Thursdays. Okay, so those are just for math. And then tutorial is Fridays, but I don't remember the time. Okay, where you can kind of go in and out from all your classes. So those 3 hours, I need to be available for you, or it doesn't have to be these kind of things, but um, basically, I need to be, that's my responsibility of when I'm doing math, like helping you guys with math. So I could just be making videos that are not live at those times and then posting them. But that's not my plan. My plan is, why don't you do your work from this time? If you want to be here from 9 to 10:30, you can be doing your homework. And as you do your homework, you're like, oh, I have a question. And then you just send me a message. You can send me a text message. You could send me a message on the Google Meet, and then I can answer your questions. So I was thinking that all those hours right there, that hour and a half Tuesdays and hour and a half Thursdays, could just be a free for all. And then the tutorial Fridays is that you just ask me questions. And then the live videos would be at a different time, and then it would be your choice when to watch the live videos and do the assignments. But I'm thinking the 9 to 10:30 and the 10:30 to 12 is people who want to wake up to ask me questions. If you really have a question and you want a live answer, then that would be a good time to ask. That's what I'm thinking for the times. So I'm thinking that they're like math tutorial, or you sit there and do your homework. because I have 4 classes and I don't know how to fit them into that time. I mean, I can't teach everything I need to teach all of you for the whole week in 3 hours. But that doesn't mean you can't learn it in 3 hours. So you can kind of see. Okay, so that's kind of my plan, but I'm going to ask some questions so that I can pinpoint it. And then I will give you a schedule of what's assigned, what's due. We'll all be in Google Classroom. So you're going to definitely want to be checking your Google Classroom every day. Okay. 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 Now, does anyone have any other questions that I can answer? What's the homework? Okay, I'm going to post that in Google Classroom. I'll do a live video today. So that's Algebra 1. Okay, so now Algebra 1, we're supposed to do, okay, 9.1 and 9.1. Okay, so this is Algebra 1. There were 2 9.1s, like first and second day. And then for Algebra 2, there was a 7.3, 7.4, 7.5. So this week will just be a repeat. Okay, so it's going to be a repeat because since I taught that during the break, I can't put it in the grade book unless I have a specific date for it, April 20th and beyond. So the stuff I taught during the break. So if you watched any videos during the break, if you did any work during the break, that's this week's work. If you didn't do it, then you can go back and you can watch the videos and do the assignments. And then that's what I'm going to put for this week. Okay, so this week I'm not doing any live videos. We're going to start those next week once I make a plan. Okay. So there's already some assignments. Those are the ones that I'm going to put in. Because I know this week you also need to figure out what's going on with all your other classes as well. Okay, so Algebra 1, you'll have the videos already made, which I think we're on 9.1, but there were like 3 videos. And then for Algebra 2, I think I also made about 3 videos. So that's sufficient work for you to do this week. If you've already done it, that's great. You'll be able to upload it, and I'll adjust the due date. Okay, I know some of you are going to really like the fact that it's not live on the videos because you can make me go faster. Because I know some of you are like, you're too slow, Miss Nichols, and you could just put me on super speed. Okay, and then some of you are going to be really happy with pause because I go too fast. So it's going to be a really good adjustment. I do have a question. It's I'm gonna stop recording because this isn't really for everybody. But I do want to ask you questions about summer school. I have a question for you guys about summer school just for a second. So here, let's turn this off. Okay.